Welcome to the course Linear Regression using Stata. At the start of the course, we're going to begin with talking about the theory. As I said before, the course is divided into two parts. Part 1 relates to the theory, and Part 2 relates to the application using Stata. In Part 1, we're going to start with the simplest case, and that simplest case is the simple linear regression model. The simple linear regression model is the simplest case because it only contains two variables. As we will see right now, we're going to explain what the purpose of each variable is using an example. Assume the following. Assume that you're having a discussion with one of your friends and you're discussing whether grades and attendance are related. Basically, one of you would be arguing that students who attend tend to have a higher GPA, while the other person might be arguing that there is no relationship between grades and attendance, and that those that attend do not necessarily have higher grades or higher GPAs than those who do not attend. In order to see who is right, you gather some information. You ask some students about their GPAs and about the grade that they got on attendance in their last semester or the last course. And you collect the following data points. As we see, there's a student who has a GPA of 95, and they have a grade on attendance of 75, 82 and 80, 84 and 80. Now, in order for us to see if there's a relationship, one of the best things to do is to produce a graph, specifically a scatter plot. Visualizing the data makes it easy for us in order to identify if there is a relationship. So what we actually do is that we produce the scatter plot. On the y-axis, we plot the GPA, and on the x-axis, we plot attendance. And then we plot every single point. If you look at this point, for example, this is the first observation. The first observation, as we said, the GPA is 95 and the attendance is 75. So this point has an attendance of 75 and a GPA of 95. We do this for all of the points. Looking at this graph, we actually see that there is reason to suspect that students who attend more, they tend to have higher GPAs. Actually, if we look at the points, we see that the relationship resembles somehow a line. As we see, the larger the value of attendance, the larger the value of GPA, and we see that the relationship tends to be linear. It's not 100% linear, we have some exceptions, but however, we say that more or less we believe that this relationship can be represented by a mathematical function. Now, the question is, what is the equation of this line? And this is basically what linear regression is. Linear regression is the mathematical tool that we use in order to find the best fit line. Going back to our scatter plot, the number of lines that we can draw here is an infinite number of lines. We can draw a line like this, or a line like this, or a line like this. However, what we want to draw, is that we want to draw the best fit line. And this is why we do linear regression. Linear regression helps us find the equation y is equal to ax plus b, where y is called the dependent variable. Y is called the dependent variable because we believe that the value of y depends on the value of x. X is called the independent variable because x is influencing y, not the other way around. And we have the coefficients a and b. A is called the slope, while b is called the y-intercept. Now, the concept of the slope is actually very important. This is why we're going to talk about it in detail. As I said, when we run a linear regression model, what we actually do is we find the value of a and the value of b given our dependent and independent variables. In our case, our dependent variable is the GPA, which we have plotted on the y-axis. GPA, we believe, depends on attendance. So instead of y, we would have GPA, and our independent variable x is actually attendance, because we believe that attendance influences the GPA. This is why in our model, what we have is GPA is equal to A times attendance plus B. So as I said, y is called y, which is the dependent variable, is the GPA. X, which is the independent variable, is attendance. Next, we're going to talk about the concept of the slope, because the slope is actually the number that describes the type of relationship between y and between x, or between GPA and between attendance in our case.